Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, it's so acoustic in here. I had no idea. Alright, I'm gonna close some doors so it doesn't look as awful. Una secondo. Beautiful people. Okay, let's see. Hopefully, wait, is there going to be a delay? I don't want a delay. Advanced? Delay? No. Okay. Oh my god, it's working. I think it's working. Twitch. See if I can remember how to do this. Epiphany 77. C'est moi. C'est soi. Oh my goodness, it is. So now I can get the chat open. No more settings, pop out chat. Oh, it's like riding a bike. This is easy. And then I go to channel. This one, people watching YouTube as well. Fuck yeah, man. Poker night high stakes. That is exactly what we're going to be doing. Hello, Mr. Korean man whose name you could give me 6,000 years to try and translate that. I don't think I would get it over 6,000 years. I don't think your name's even in... Oh, it is Korean, isn't it? That is Korean. You're right. You were honest with me this time. I'll let you off this time. And looking at Twitch chat, we got Yo Football, first time chatter, Swift Cuba, what's up? Hello P-Man86, that's the name I recognize. Panya, I recognize that. Yoshig, what's up? First time sound only on the left. Fuck, that is a thing, isn't it? Sound only on the left ear was a thing that I was battling with. Let me text an audio engineer friend I have quickly. Audio. Fuck, what's his name? Jay. Yo. How do I fix the thing where my audio plays out of one ear? I had an audio engineer come set this up, and yeah, I do apologize for that. So this is a test run. Later tonight, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rail the $1 Million Cash Game. I found myself watching it, and I moved into this apartment yesterday, by the way. Hence me finally being able to stream. I found myself watching it last night, and I was like, I feel like I want some company. And seeing as I don't have any friends nearby that would be interested in watching with me, I thought I'd be friends with you guys. So I just kind of forced my friendship upon the internet. And this is a test run for that. So in the meantime, let's do an AMA. Ask me anything. Ask me absolutely anything on YouTube or Twitch, and I will look at both chats because I'm really good at that. Pop out chat. There we go. One chat and two chats. I also just woke up from a really long nap. I'm trying to fix my sleeping pattern so I'm not too... It's like, I'm kind of like anti-poker right now. I was going to sleep at like 9:30 p.m., waking up at like 5:30 a.m. What can I do? But it's like, yeah, that's very good if you're trying to be all like enlightened and running charities and businesses and stuff like that. It's not so good if you're trying to do poker streaming. Where's the apartment? It's in London. We're back in London. That call by Texas Mike with Queen 9 was insanely horrible. Queen 9. Oh no, that was fine. I mean, against the player, I think it was not so good, but I think in general it was fine. I think it's fair enough to put an opponent on a flush draw when he flats and shoves. How's kid and wife doing? Both seem to be doing pretty well. Alora is 14 and a half months now, and she is the light of my life. I cannot express how happy I get, and I get to spend so much time with her, which is fantastic. Hannah's up and down. I will say that probably the most challenging part of my life is relationship with Hannah, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing. You know, I think it's most of my life isn't so challenging, but you know, I chose to have a child with perhaps the most complex person I'd ever met. So that's on me. Comment on the 2.2 million flip Keating versus Mike. Yeah. I mean, maybe Alan knew something that I don't. I think ace queen suited there, you're pretty damn lucky to be flipping. I would expect to be behind pretty much always when that happens. Same for tens. I think there's absolutely no reason to be 5-bet shoving. I think there's no reason to be calling. Congratulations to both of them for knowing where each other are at. Sometimes in game you just have kind of like a read, and sometimes two people have a read, or as Alan said, sometimes two people are just kind of tilted. So c'est la vie. What's the plan, playing or debating? Today we're going to be watching other people play poker, and I've got some pretty huge stream plans coming up. Hence, well, one of the reasons I'm moving to an apartment that now has like 500 megabytes of download speed. Cheers to that. This is non-alcoholic, by the way. This is cherry tea. Cherry tea kind of sounds like me. Sparkling ingredients: carbonated infusion of organic mate tea, organic black tea, stuff like that, you know. How do I approach analyzing my own hand histories after a session? So I don't do that too much anymore, although I make content, so I'm kind of forced to like look at my own play. But when I do it, it is in a community of people who are willing to call me out if I'm being stupid, who are relatively similar / maybe slightly worse / maybe slightly better than me at poker. That's always nice. And this is why I created my platform, Elite University, because even if you don't pay money, you can still have a community of, there's like hundreds of active users, thousands of users, hundreds of active users that can just tell you, you can post any hand you want and you'll get people replying instantly 24/7. It's really cool. You guys want to come you guys want to come hang out with me and watch the Hustler stream together later tonight? You guys want to just fucking hang out? What's for dinner tonight? I think I'm gonna get a steak. I think I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna go get a steak. I'm eating a lot of steak recently. Grass-fed, grass-finished, sometimes you can't beat it. When I went to Bali for 4 months, and as you can see by the attire that I'm wearing, I'm usually wearing like suits these days, by the way. I went to Bali, and for the first like month and a half, I was vegan. Not really through like pre-planned choice. It just felt like the right thing because I was doing so much meditation, and there are like certain spiritual phenomena which I can speak about if anybody cares. The unlock or a more potent if you're not eating meat. But at the moment I'm eating a lot of steak. What was my first high roller MTT like? Depends how you define high roller. The first one I played that was called a high roller was the GUKPT. Oh, that might be a main event actually, not high roller. I won that. That was really cool. And then there's an interview of me on YouTube. You can find it, and it's the guy interviewing me and be like, "So you've been playing the GUKPT main event?" And I'm like, "What's the GUKPT main event?" He's like, "You just won that tournament." I'm like, "Oh, cool, that's nice, yeah, nice." And then the first high roller I played, I remember it was a 10K in EPT, and I had this classic thing, and learn this from me so you don't have to make the same mistake 100 times, because I see it all the time. But I made this huge mistake of feeling like, because I was playing the high stakes now, I was being picked on. So I have many hand histories that were just like me open, king 3 suited, mid position, 9-handed. Somebody 3-bets the button. I'm like, this guy's a 10K player. He's probably messing around with me. So I'd 4-bet. And they would shove, and I would be like, damn it. And then I would open king jack, and somebody 3-bet, somebody else would 3-bet, and I'd 4-bet, and they would shove, and I'd be like, damn it. No, I look back, everyone was just a nit back then. And in my head, I was like, they're trying to pick on me. So the lesson is, when you go up stakes, don't deify your opponents. Don't see them as gods, because people really do have the tendency to do that in poker, in chess, in so many other things. Like, if I'm playing somebody that's like 2,500 in chess, 2,500 online on chess.com, then suddenly my brain starts melting, unless I'm in flow state, unless I've prepared. But yeah, if I'm in the right mindset and I'm not thinking of him as a genius, I'm like, okay, this is a human that's going to make loads and loads and loads of mistakes. Then I feel a lot more comfortable. Been playing a lot of chess recently, up to 2,100 in rapid in chess.com. Yeah, up to I think 2,000 in blitz and bullet. I play those when I'm tired, so that I think my true rating is a little bit higher. Yeah, been playing a lot of chess. We can play some chess now if you guys want to find me. You like my room? Thank you. All ready am I? Hopefully you heard the answer just then. Ask me something deep, guys. Let's go deep. Looking good, Charlie. Welcome back. Thank you. Yeah, I feel a lot better. Ponder me this, guys. Ponder me this. Here's a curious phenomenon. I'm getting told that I look like Jesus. Maybe more. Maybe it's like less obvious now, so people say it more. But like, people still say it after I got my hair cut, and I'm not like wearing white or anything like that. What's going on there? Why do people still think that? I mean, first of all, Jesus was small and brown, so fair enough. Yes, the audio is on the left. My bad. I don't know how to fix that, but I will try and fix it before the stream tonight. Yeah, Jesus wasn't white at all, and he was Jewish, and he was small, and whatever. But like, what is it about my face that people still think looks like whatever the Orthodox is, or whomever they're thinking about portraying as Jesus? What is the meaning of life? Deep enough? Like a million ways you could answer that question, but I would say one of the deeper and more profound answers is found in answering the question, who am I? And when you answer the question, who am I, when you ask it fervently and vehemently, what you find is you just keep peeling layers back of who you're not. And at the end, you seem to find that there's nothing. And that seems to also be God, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of like a wild experience to go down as somebody who used to be like a materialist, rationalist, naturalist, atheist. Kind of crazy. Thought Jesus was Indian. He visited India. Yeah, he went and trained with some Indians. So it seems, at least. What do you think about reincarnation in combination with conscious AI? If AI can experience time infinitely, what happens? All right, I'm going to have to process that question for a second. One second. So AI, at the moment, is nowhere near consciousness. And conscious in the sense of human consciousness. Now, the people who are designing AI, they often have this materialistic point of view, or a lot of them do at least, which is as long as we can replicate the functionality of the human synapses, of the neurological patterns of the mind, then we can create sentience. Now, if you've gone down a certain path of thoughts, if you've gone deep into meditation, if you've followed Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, if you've gone deep into plant medicine, you'll probably have come to some of your own conclusions around the non-material essence of the fabric of reality. And that also comes with the soul, or as the Indians call it, the Atman, the self, the big S self. And that is something we haven't developed in AI, and we're nowhere close to being able to do it. So I don't think reincarnation and AI are something that we need to worry about now. I think maybe if we integrate AI into the human experience, that is something that I think a soul would just have a different vehicle. What was the second part of that question? It was confusing to me. What if AI can experience time infinitely? What happens? What if AI can experience time infinitely? I don't know what that means. So I wish I could answer that, but it could mean a few things. We can experience time infinitely. You can find, if you go deep into meditation, you can play with time. And there's a thing that a shaman I once spent time with called mystical time. He and his tribe called it mystical time. And it was the idea that time, through the lens of consciousness, through the lens of perception, can be played with. And they said that they could like time travel. And I remember that I was sitting in a peyote ceremony and they were like, thank God we can time travel, otherwise it'd be so boring sitting in traffic. And to them, time travel doesn't mean like literally their body goes back in time. It means they can play with the perception and boom, time just goes really quickly, or it goes really slowly. And when you look into deep theoretical physics, or if you look into Buddhist theories or things like this, you see that time is actually part of the illusion of the human experience. And if you go really close to the speed of light, time slows down. And fucking work that out in your head, like genuinely try and figure out like what is going on there. Like, how does time slow down if you go fast? Like, why? Like, really try and integrate that fact that time isn't just this like linear progression like we experience it on a daily basis. Like, how like you go at the speed of light and you end up at a different age to the person that stayed up and did it. It's crazy stuff, man. Yeah, time is not real. What do you think of Sam Altman? I actually don't know. Charlie, you're 30, bro. Why do you talk with such authority like you have 50 years of wisdom? I would say that probably gives you some indication of projection there. First of all, I don't think I'm particularly wise. I don't think I'm somebody that you should put up on a pedestal or anything like that. I'm just talking to a Twitch stream and a YouTube stream. So like, what do you want me to do, man? Be like, hey, I'm 30. I don't have any opinions. But also, secondly, that having importance thrown upon biological age, as I suspected when I was 14, and everyone was like, you'll understand when you get older. There was some truth to it. There was some truth. I was like, okay, some of the stuff I understood when I got older. But then you look back and it's like, oh, they were all stupid. Like, all the people that are telling me that, they were also really stupid, and they were asserting themselves in a position of authority over somebody they saw as dumb and young, because that was part of their identity. I'm old and I have wisdom, and it's I pray that I'm never going to get to the point where I'm like 70 years old and be like, look at how wise I am. Yeah. Why don't you have any furniture? I moved in yesterday, so I'm probably going to stay relatively minimalistic, but it does, yeah, this is more of a pragmatic faculty of my life. Doesn't your mass become infinite at the speed of light? Apparently. I've never tried it myself, but at least not in this lifetime. Does alien life disprove the existence of religion? No. It might disprove some of the theories that have sprouted from religion. Learn how to levitate yet? I've got no interest in learning how to levitate. Like, absolutely zero. I've heard many stories of people that can, and I would, if I had to bet money on it, I would bet that people have, including Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. Whether it's metaphorical that he literally walked on water or not, whatever. But yeah, I've got no interest in doing that. Where's my hair? Yeah, fucking, I had to decide I was going to cut it off. I was ready to go bald. I was ready to go super short hair. And I was like, I'm going to turn myself into the person that the world, or that I need to be to do the most good I can in the world. And I was ready to go fucking, like, no hair whatsoever. And I spoke to the hairdresser. I was like, I want to look professional. I want to be able to look professional in a suit. I don't want to look like a hippie. So when I'm, speaking in front of cameras for my charity, which is, by the way, getting such a huge amount of help from the world, finally, that I don't want to be perceived as somebody that's in a little box of being like a hippie. I want to be able to be a professional when I need to be. And then if I want to be a fucking hippie and talk some fucking shit to you guys and allow us to watch a high stakes poker stream tonight, then I want to do that too. Oh, dude, Adam, you're hi, by the way. I didn't know did you go fully Aryan Brotherhood bold? Do you not believe in the power of hair? I do very strongly believe in the power of hair. I also believe in the power of cutting off hair if you're starting new chapters of your life, because hair holds the energy of who you have been, including your beard hair and stuff like that. And this is why you'll find like Sikhs, for instance, they'll grow their hair to a certain length and they'll keep it there because they're maintaining the energy. But then you'll also find like a heartbroken woman will very often cut all their hair off, or a heartbroken man sometimes, just to shave the balls, just to start afresh. You're a big fan of JP. I heard you mention him at university speech. I try not to be a fan of anybody or anything, but I take a lot of inspiration. I was just listening to a podcast between him and some guy who's... Actually, I listened to 2 JP podcasts in the last couple of days. Some guy whose dad was in Hamas. And now he's like very anti-Hamas. His story was crazy. I'm just trying to see if I can find the video, find his name. Anyway, I was listening to JP, and I was also listening to him speak to Cosmic Skeptic as well. I'll find it later. Kundalini is a real phenomenon. Kundalini is an energy that we all have that is usually kept in the base of our spine. And part of the goal of yoga, not particularly a huge part of the goal of yoga, but part of the goal of yoga is to get that energy up all the way through the spine. Charlie, have you been watching $1 Million Game? That's why we're here. That's why I've started the stream. We're going to watch tonight. We're going to have a family get together. You guys put this in your calendar. Stay up with me. As long as I can stay up. We're going to watch some of the $1 Million Game. And I have some vested interest in who wins and who doesn't. Can you debate Andrew Tate and show the world his hate? I'm sure I could. I don't know if it's in my best interest or his best interest or the world's best interest, but yeah, I could. Andrew Tate is a phenomenon of... It's a very good showcase that sometimes it's good to have psychopaths in your communities. And I think it's very wise not to alienate people like him, but also be extremely open, analytical, and transparent about how certain of his actions are despicable. So, yeah, the stuff that he did around coercing women into sex work and manipulating them, taking all their money, manipulating men, all of these things that have been shown in court. And there's plenty of evidence of him speaking about it and doing it and laughing about it. I think that's all awful, awful stuff. That being said, I think there are bigger monsters in the world, and he happens to be pointing towards the direction of fighting those monsters. And so, you know, what do you want? It's probably better he's out. I have this like image of him with a like imagine you're in a tribe, right? And you're like, the Vikings are coming, and we're just like sitting in a tribe, and we're like, who do we send out to fight them? And there's just Andrew sitting, Andrew and his friend just sitting in a group together, like, huh? And he just runs at them with a fucking axe, like, ah! You're like, I'm glad he's in our tribe. Go on Sean Atwood. Funnily enough, I do have plans on going on Sean Atwood. Because he and I, first of all, we knew of each other through True Geordie. And then second of all, we ran into each other at a kirtan in London. A kirtan's a Hindu mantra chanting thing where it's kind of like the audience sings and then, the people at the front sing and then the audience sings it back. And it's like a call and response thing. It's part of the Bhakti yoga tradition. And I go to those quite a lot, or I used to. And I recognized Sean Atwood there, and I talked to him afterwards. And so he said that Hannah and I should get on his show. We're in next True Geordie pods. Hopefully going to be working with True Geordie pretty soon. We've got some really, really big plans around poker, around coin poker as well, and getting some of the high stakes games going, but in a better way than it was last time. I can't say too much, but I'm very excited about it. And also planning on giving away lots and lots and lots of money to you guys. I've found a way. I found a system which I get to give away like $50,000. You guys want to do a $50,000 giveaway purely to my audience? Sounds pretty cool. And it's a win-win-win for Coin Poker, you guys and me. So I like those systems. I like those ones. Vikings were incel. I don't know if they were. They were raping pretty hard. Sorry, I am trying to fix the audio, so to the headphone users, I do apologize. My audio guy says, yo, I'm currently at a wedding, so a bit tricky right now. Send me a photo of your audio settings. I feel bad if he's at a wedding, but basically I suspect it's recording channel 1 and 2 on the audio interface, stereo, but you just need to set it to channel 1 that the mic is plugged into mono. Oh, did anybody understand that? Did anybody understand that at all? There's something my brain has around audio engineering. It just blanks, like absolutely blanks. And I met an audio guy because I recorded myself singing for my daughter. So I've got 5 recorded songs on Spotify if you guys want to try and find it, but it's not under my name. 1 second. Hope the wedding is gorgeous. Being a good human. How much profit have you made in poker in your lifetime? So I calculated it, and so for me, I think it's around 6 million, and for me plus, or maybe like 5.5, and for me plus my investors, I think it's around 9.5. It was 10, and then I lost some on coin poker, so that was kind of annoying. Like I figured out it was around 10 million net USD. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to, it's a good marketing idea. Be like, hey, I turned $50 into $10 million playing poker. And then I played on these fucking, I shouldn't swear so much. I'm trying not to swear so much. I played on these ruddy coin poker games where I came to Tony G, be like, yeah, let's play some high stakes, no limit. I'll choose the lineup. He's like, yeah, great idea. And then it slowly turns into him inviting the best players in the world and turns it into PLO. So I'm playing the best PLO players in the world at like 1K, 2K, and he's staking me. So I was like, well, sure, I'll play. I'm not winning in these, I might be with there's a couple of recreational players in there, but it's like not a great spot. And I lose like 400K. And now I've not won 10 million for me and my investors because I lost that 400K. So it's like 9.5, 9.6 or something like that. Problems, huh? First world problems. Do I still talk to Open? No, I don't. Open's the person I've made the most money in this lifetime. I've made Open, he estimated around $3 million US. I thought it was like 2.5. I asked him, he said it was like 3. I was like his little British milk cow. Yeah, PLO's too random. I agree. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Let's go deeper. Let's get some deep questions in. Oh come, Emmanuel. I've been looking so deeply into religion recently, and it's something that I was neglecting for a while because I have this mindset quite often where I like to figure stuff out for myself. So with poker, I didn't study like other people studied. I figured out my own way. With chess, same thing. I don't study. I just play. And I got really good at poker. I got really good at chess. And I had this thing where with philosophy, I didn't want to read any philosophical books until I was like 18, 19, because I was like, I want to figure this out for myself. And so I went down this huge rabbit hole. I just really thought about morality and like the point of existence and all of these things. And me being me, back when I was 18, an atheist, I didn't know the word for it, but essentially I was like an optimistic version of a nihilist. I was like, no, there's no meaning, that everything's irrational. There's no point in being happy. There's no point in being sad. There's no point in doing good. There's no point in doing bad. But you might as well enjoy it whilst you have the time. It was essentially something like that. And now I've been, for the past like 10 or so years, I've been on this spiritual path, maybe like 8 years. And I didn't want to read this holy scripture. I didn't want to read much of the Quran. I didn't want to read the Upanishads. I didn't want to read the Vedas. I didn't want to read the Bhagavad Gita. I didn't want to read the Bible. I didn't want to read the Torah. I didn't want to read the Buddhapata. What's it called? Dhammapada. And various other Buddhist texts that I still haven't read. And recently I got the feeling that I wanted to do it. I wanted to check my answers. So I've been reading loads. And yeah, it's been honestly like incredible, like absolutely incredible. I can see why people do it. Salam alaikum to you too, my friend. Do I believe in a greater power? I believe in the power of I believe in the power of, what's a funny joke? I believe in the power of BSTI and MERBs. I believe in the power of 3-bet bluffing rivers against maniacs. But yeah, I try not to believe in anything, honestly. I try to, belief in itself, from my perspective, is like intrinsically irrational. Like, to believe something is saying like, hey, I don't know, but I'm gonna say that I know, kind of. Like, it's like in poker, if you're like, well, I don't know what the river's gonna be, but I believe it's gonna be a club. Okay, well, you don't know, so you can say you have a feeling. Yeah, you can say you have a gut feeling, or you know that the river was a club because you can see that it was a club, and you can assign mathematical probability, or, you know, if you don't want to define it mathematically, you can at least you can give it some kind of verbal probability of like, I'm pretty sure this is true. But then when you know something, and then you say you know it. And so I wouldn't say I believe in God. I say that I know God exists because I've experienced it. I've seen evidence for it. I've seen, and I can also completely understand and empathize with the atheist position, because that was me for so long. How has fatherhood changed my perspective? Opened my heart a lot. Opened it up real good, which was, my heart was already very open, but even more so. Made the world a lot more challenging, because all of those attachments that I had managed to work through, fear of death, I was like, I'm not scared of death anymore. Now I'm scared of her dying. I had that today. She was standing up on this balcony, on the balcony here. There's literal 0% chance that she would die. There's like a huge thing in the way of her and death. And unless she develops like Olympic level gymnastics, or the jumping to body mass ratio of a flea, she ain't getting over that wall. But still, when she goes near it, there's part of my body that just went, oh. And so I've got to rework through a lot of these attachments. Got to go enjoy the Hustler game. Yeah, we will, guys. You gonna watch Hustler? You gonna watch Hustler live avec moi? We're gonna have a little watch party. I feel like that'll be really cute. I feel like it'll be really cool. Have you done a video covering your poker journey? Because I only heard small parts. I guess I haven't. And I've realized this thing, that I've been a little bit narrow with how I've been putting out videos for the last like 4 years. And I think the reason is that I got bullied so hard by a lot of the poker world when I would put out something that was a little bit more personal, that I hunkered down. I was like, I'm just going to make poker content. You know, if someone insults me as a poker player, it's like, okay, whatever. If someone insults me as a person, it used to be very like core hitting. And now I've just kind of got in the habit of it. And even though I've worked through a lot of those pains and issues that I had around being bullied, I'm just still in the habit of not making that kind of content. So I do want to spread out a lot. Ignore the haters. Yeah, I found that is actually the way to do it. Yeah, ignoring it seems to be the one. Thomas on HCO was you. I hope not. He plays like me. Yeah. Will I be playing poker today? I don't think so. I think we're just going to watch poker. Spirituality is the same as probability, though. Yeah, fair enough. Were his tats fake? I actually asked ChatGPT. I was like, what do if someone has a tattoo of 333, what does that mean? And the most likely answer is it's probably a Christian thing. Like the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son. Can you tell some stories about the metaphysical stuffs, like that lady in the mountains that could read your mind, or high stakes pro manifesting turns and rivers? Well, one of those stories is a lot more interesting than the other. I can tell you many metaphysical stories. I can tell you about lady in the mountains. I can't tell you much about her, but I can tell you about her. I can tell you about channels that I've met. I can tell you about wild events that have happened in my life that beyond coincidence. I can tell you about shamanic things that I've seen that go against the laws of Newtonian, ostensibly go against the laws of Newtonian physics, although they don't actually, in the same way that Like quantum physics ostensibly goes against the laws of Newtonian physics, but it turns out they work together just fine. Is it theosophy? Not really. Kinda. Not really. Metaphysics is a better word for a lot of it, and then energy work is a lot of other stuff. Here's the thing: I've become a lot less inclined to want to speak about these things publicly. Here's how it went. I was an atheist, materialist. You know, I believed in whatever science told me, and I was like, maybe stuff is real, but probably not. 99.9% sure that God isn't real, stuff like that. The classics, the classic. And then I went on this journey, and I got shown a bunch of things that were goddamn impossible, and I went unbelievably slow into realizing that this stuff was true. Like I questioned, I analyzed, I argued, I fought, because I had this huge egotistical shell around me that I was right, and that all of these idiot Christians that I met when I was younger, all of these idiot spiritual people that talk about 5-dimensional consciousness, that I was like, I'm the smart one and they're the dumb one. And then I got shown things that my atheist mind was like, literally, that's impossible. Like, how could that be possible? How did he know what was in my mind at that moment? Like, how that's like so specific. The chance of it being coincidence, like billions to one. How is that a thing? And then I got shown 100 of those, 1,000 of those things, and I was like, eventually, you know, I started understanding that there was more to life than that. And as that happened, I was communicating with people. I was like, hey, guys, like, look at this. This is crazy. Like, this is real. And some people are like, oh, that's pretty cool. And most people are like, no, it's not. And I'll be like, no, here's some evidence for it. And I'll be like, I don't want to look at that. I'm like, no, there's actually scientific literature that points to this. They're like, who cares? And I found out most people don't want to hear it. And that shocked me. As somebody who's been balls deep in trying to understand the universe since I was a kid, it shocked me that people not only have such a strong opinion about the nature of reality without having even dug into it themselves, or barely having, but they don't even care about it. They might profess that they care verbally, but when it actually comes down to it, they don't care. That's crazy. Be concrete, please. Just explain just an example. Yeah, I got like, let me choose which one feels right. I'll tell you about. I'll tell you the one that I told on my YouTube. I did a talk at university. So I've got somebody that I know whom has changed my life. Honestly, I'm going to use the word saved my life. I was going down a path of chaos, and I found healing in ways that I didn't think was possible. When I maybe like 6 years ago, I met this person. And side note, this person managed to help Hannah. Most of you will know who Hannah is, who had multiple personality disorder. I lived with her while she had multiple personality disorder for like 8 months, and it was awful. And there was no, like, 0% chance she was faking it, because she would get like high and she would like switch personalities like this, and her voice would change, her memories would change, she would freak out all the time. It was like, and she'd become like super abusive one day, and the next day she'd be super kind. Everything about her, like, it was legitimately dissociative identity disorder. Not only, okay, we met this person. She, very long story short, helped me, cured me of many, many things, and then also cured Hannah of this multiple personality disorder. And it was like a switch. It was like, I literally saw things leave her body. I was sober, by the way, completely sober. And one day she had DID, multiple dissociative identity disorder, the psychiatric literature calls it, psychiatric world calls it. And one second she had it, and the next second she did not have it. And never again did she switch. Never again did any of the. Never again did she get voices in her head. And this is actually something I experienced myself, like in my own mind as well. So that happened. It was an extremely long story, which I don't intend to share right now because it is a really long story. But that happened. And then, so the story that I told on YouTube was I was hosting my second. I've done 3 lifestyle retreats. This sounds unlikely. Sorry, you don't need to be sorry, man. Of course it sounds unlikely. You'd be stupid to think it sounds likely if you don't know me. But anyway, so I've hosted 3 lifestyle retreats, and on the second retreat, one of the people there had a cough, like a really bad cough. He was staying up all night, and I was like, "Do you want me to see if I call her my teacher for want of a better word, but my teacher, see if she can help kind of diagnose exactly what's going on. She has the ability to do that." And he's very open to these things. So he said, yeah. So I took a photo. My teacher's never seen this person in her life, obviously. She lives up a mountain. She's not English, doesn't spend time around this place. And I was like, here's this guy's first name. His first name's Chi. And I was like, what's up with his cough? And you know, please understand, I'm a pretty rational person, as people go. I like to base my reality in curiosity, questioning, skepticism, rationality. It's one of the core proponents of who I am in this lifetime. I don't do these things lightly. I don't just go to some random charlatan, energy healer, psychic reader, tarot deck reader, or anything like this and be like, ooh, tell me my future, and believe that they're actually going to have some. So, you know, there's been years of evidence to lead me up to this point where I believe that this person has the capability. She comes back to me and says, and I could show you the messages. I'm not going to show you the messages, but I could show you the messages if I scrolled up pages. And she said, when he was young, he had bilateral pneumonia and never quite cleared up. And I said this to Chi, and he said, what? How did she know that? That's the kind of what his voice sounds like. How did she know that? And he shared that when he was like 6, he went into the hospital, got diagnosed specifically with bilateral pneumonia, which I still don't know what that is, but apparently it's relatively rare. And the doctors and nurses said it never quite cleared up. So this is one example out of, I shit you not, I'm trying not to swear as much. I swear to you, I don't know how to say that in a non-profane way. I could give you hundreds of these examples. So that's just one out of many. So Mixuxist says, somehow the absolute best unbeaten mixed martial artists are boxers and deeply religious. Yusuf Fury, I can never say that guy's name. Khabib, Makachev, and the rest. Dagestani team, many more fascinating. Hell yeah. Gotta say, Charles looking strong and healthy. Thank you very much. I feel really healthy. No cap. That's a good way of saying it. I cap you not, sirs. Any other deep and profound questions we should ask before I'll probably stay on for another 30 minutes just talking to you guys, and then later I will boot up the stream and we will watch the $1 Million Game whilst talking about deep stuff, but also talking about the game. Like I said, in this I do have some financial interest in it. What is the best scientific literatures that you wanted people to read back then? It's not so much about the best, because honestly, I think the best people aren't open to, but some people whom are good at articulating the scientific literature. One in particular, it was the first ever podcast guest I had, called Dean Radin, and he has a book called Real Magic, which when I first read it, I was like at the beginning of my journey, and to me it was like mind-boggling that I was like, how can this be true? And I looked up the scientific literature, and it's like the book is like a compilation of some of the best scientific literature around the psi phenomenon, he calls it, PSI, which is like psychic stuff, like telepathy and things like that. And you know, it's legitimate, peer-reviewed, double-blinded, triple-blinded studies, and it's legit. And so, for example, one of the studies is imagine you're sitting in a room, and you got a telephone in front of, like a big, like 1980s telephone, you know, And you have 12 people sitting in other rooms, in different rooms, and they're all like relatives or friends, people you know really well. And when that phone rings, one of them has been randomly selected by an RNG, by a random number generator, to call you, and you have to psychically guess which one of your friends or relatives has called you. Now, if you ran this over thousands of iterations, you would expect somebody to get it right about 1 in 12 times. And when somebody gets it right more or less, you can say, okay, the chance of this being a coincidence is like 1 in X, you know, or X% or whatever you want to say. And they did it with a bunch of people. And may I add that these are people that, you know, they're like psychic, but they're not like Buddhist monks. They're not like trained deep in meditation. These are like westernized people. They're not the finest the world has to offer. They're not the creme de la creme. But they got it right to the point where it was millions and millions to 1 of it being a coincidence. And so this is one replicated study, which speaks to the phenomenon which a lot of people purport to have. A lot of people assume it's just a psychological trick, where they think of someone and then that person phones them and they're like, that's weird, I was just thinking about you. Do you think telepathy is a distant pathway in human evolution? Distant pathway, what do you mean by that? I think telepathy is an inbuilt phenomenon of the human experience, but not one that's so easily understood. Do you think gym and being strong is an important part of being masculine? No, but I think it can be. I think that having physical attributes that represent your inner world is really important. So if your inner world is one of strength and vehemence and assertiveness, then it can be very, very powerful to have a body that then represents that. One issue that you find very often in today's world is that you'll find people who haven't done the inner work, they haven't become strong emotionally, they haven't become powerful energetically, but they have a body that looks like, you know, that looks like they are. And when there's a distance between the mind and the body like that, it's a little bit dissonant, it's a little bit off, like something's a little bit like, you got a baby face, but got a chunky body, and that can often be an issue. And then on the other side of things, and the underlying answer is like, yeah, gym, working out, health, fitness, great, fuck yeah, I exercise every day. On the other side of things, you can find some of the most masculine people ever who don't ever go to the gym, like a Buddhist monk, for instance, who are so deeply embodied with the divine masculine. Or Jesus is probably another good example. I can't imagine he was pumping iron, but he was the embodiment of or at least one of the embodiments of divine masculine. So, you know, I think it's nuanced. I think it depends. How many vertical farms am I running? So guys, this is one of the most fun parts of my life. I'll let you in on. I get a lot of weird comments and a lot of weird theories about me floating around online. And playing a 200 live tournament, any quick tips? Play tight at the beginning. Play strong hands strong, play weak hands slowly. Continuation bet a lot, but play tight, really, really tight pre-flop. A lot of these levels of poker are just having the better hand at showdown than your opponent, and everyone's going to be calling too much. Everyone's going to be folding too little. So just make sure that when you hit a set, you bet huge, and they're going to call you a top hat. Anyway, so I get a lot of wild theories around me on every social media platform I go on. I can turn on my phone any given moment. I can guarantee I'll have like another hateful comment thrown at me, which is I think is good training for my future as I'm going into politics, it seems, or at least I'm going to be politically adjacent. One of them is there's a guy that for about, I don't know, if it's like 4 months now, like a long time, he's been commenting on every single one of my YouTube shorts, something about vertical farming. And I was really confused about it. And then it started turning into like, you lost, like the theory is that I lost all of my money in vertical farms. which is not true. It's just not true at all. But it's one of my favorite comments that I get. It makes me smile every single time, because this one guy is like dedicated. He's like super dedicated towards telling the world that I'm broke because of vertical farming. But yeah, it's not the truth. There's another one that I know about this because somebody brought it to my attention. I was looking for a flat in London, and I found one that I wanted to rent. It was like 4K a month or something like that, GBP. And you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this really nice flat. It's, you know, pretty. I'm gonna live a humble lifestyle, but still a luxurious one in this beautiful North London flat. And everything seems swimming until I get a message from the estate agent saying the landlord isn't so keen on you. And I was like, oh, what is it? The poker thing or what? And they were like, no, it's this. And I think one of the first things that you find on Google if you search my name is Charlie Carrel is a psychopath. Yeah. There's that one. And there's if you go on my Wikipedia, it says Charlie used to make a living dealing drugs. Neither of those things are true. The second one is more true than the other one. I didn't make a living. I was like 16. You don't make a living when you're 16. But that it looks like I was like a drug kingpin before. But, so I can understand why they didn't want me. Some psychopathic ex-drug dealer in their house. So I didn't get the house. 4K a month, humble brag. It's a lot less than I was paying before. What drugs did I sell? Any left? I was selling mostly Molly / Mandy, sometimes speed, sometimes weed. And if anybody is looking at this from a legal or judicial perspective, I'm joking. This is purely comedy. Definitely not true. Charles Carrel reads the news on BBC Radio. Actually, whenever I get into an Uber, I ask them to turn the radio off. Play you at chess. I could play you at chess. Let's see if I have the scene for it. I do have the scene for it. Do you want to play, guys? Do you want to play some chess? You want to play some goddamn chess? Emmanuel has come to thee. Wait, up here. I had a little sweat there whether I had any weird tabs open, because I didn't think about that because I'm out of practice of being a streamer. I won't play you first. I will play. What should we play? Should we play some Bullet? No, we'll play some 3 minute. 2012 rating right now. It's good. Has come to the Israel. And by the way, I've not studied openings yet, or at least barely studied openings. What? Okay. Has come to thee. Okay. Equal material. His king's effed up, which is nice. Don't think I want to trade queens for that reason. Now this lurking with very little protection. We have this potentially. This is weak. We have probably not that, but that's an idea. His ideas, I don't really see anything good. He might want to play this afterwards. So we will take with the pawn, keep this idea alive. I feel like this dark square bishop's got to be able to do some good in the world. I feel like it's going to have a voluptuous career at some point. Oh come, Emmanuel. I've got to play a move. It doesn't have to be the best move. I'll just play a move. So he's going to play bishop g5 next, so let's do that. g4, sorry. feel like I've misplayed this. C'est la vie. Bring this guy over. Essentially, we want to do something like this. It's like the dream. That is a free exchange. I think this guy might be not playing good, which is promising. So now we do this. He's pinned here, and we're threatening this to pin the queen and the. He's not threatening this because he's still pinned. Now we're threatening this if we can get. Oh no, we're not. Sorry, I'm just being stupid. Emmanuel has come. I think trading knights is going to be good if we can. Never mind. Knight for bishop would be fantastic if I can do that. I did forget about that. But now this is under attack. He doesn't have infiltration to this square. Make sure you guys can see. This knight doesn't have any good jumps, but maybe you can play this, but then we just triple up. He's probably going to have to do something like this. I don't think he's threatening anything. No, he's not. I don't know what he's trying to do. Gotta make sure he doesn't come in there. Let's go there. If this moves off this diagonal, we have this. 26 seconds. Okay. Ooh, I might fuck this up somehow. Woohoo! Okay. Okay. We're back. Dude, that was a stressful game. Let's go! Let's go! Anyway, that'll probably be an end to it, a nice end to the stream. Guys, today we're going to be watching the $1 Million Cash Game together as friends. I don't like this line, by the way. So he blundered that. That was... Oh. What? Oh, yeah, it's just hanging. Okay. My bad. So apparently he's got a better position, so he didn't blunder in the way I thought. No, he makes like a bunch of bad moves. My winning idea was to go there. Yeah, I don't really see the point, but okay. Okay, there's no good reason to do that. That was just a glitch from the things that told me it was just +1. maybe this is better. Oh wait, no, that was hanging. Definitely should have played knight there before. This was unnecessary. I definitely I made this a little bit too messy. I was panicking. We did it. We did it. 2019, not bad. Not bad. I play Blitz when I'm tired, and I play Bullet when I'm tired as well. So I think my rating is a little bit higher than that normally, or like in essence. Hey Charlie, I came to know you from Game of Gold. Super cool thoughts regarding spirituality and things in general. Any other poker players you respect recommend learning from in 2024? Do you mean learning from poker-wise? In which case I have a few recommendations, or do you mean recommending from life-wise? In which case I have fewer recommendations, but still some. Poker-wise, I think Yuri Peleg, URI space PELEG. Maybe from people I've spoken to, the most knowledgeable person about poker theory that I've ever spoken to, which is fantastic. I think he's truly a fantastic theoretician of the game. Patrick Leonard, if you watch him on Instagram, his stories like they really help you understand how to think outside of the box when it comes to poker. I think Charlie Carrel's really good. I think you should go watch his content. The way that he manages to spin together new strategies of poker while still maintaining an essence of rationalism is fantastic. Everyone thinks they're higher rated than it is. That's true. That's true. But my rapid's high rating, and I only play rapid when I'm feeling good. So maybe there's some truth to it, but that's probably that's also a funny truth as well. I would have blundered the end game and he would have made a queen. Yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of mindset and a lot of times that would have happened too. I was lucky in a sense, and chess has a lot of luck. I was lucky because I didn't visualize what the end game was going to look like because I was panicking because of time. And yeah, it just fortunately it was a winning end game, but I didn't plan ahead enough. Gonna watch it live. I am gonna watch it live. Personally, I don't find $1 million game good without a pro. Tom Dwan's a good pro. Who out of the people? So we got Tom Dwan, Alan Keating, Santosh, George, if that's his name, probably not, and I think Steven is back, and maybe Peter. Out of them, who do you think? Who do you think like the? Give me your list of like best to worst, and then I'll give you mine. Doug is coming too, right? I hope not, because he's too good at poker. That's why everyone's like, why is Doug not being invited back? It's because nobody wants to play with somebody that's that. Well, not many people want to play with people that's that good at poker. Tom is not playing, huh? I thought he was playing. Is Keating really a good player? Keating's an instinctual player. Theoretically, you know, he's going to struggle playing 50 and L. But if he got coaching and then decided to do it, I feel like Keating is extremely sharp. Extremely sharp. I'm friends with him, so a little bit biased, but he's yeah, I think he's yeah, extremely switched on guy. I don't know what you guys are saying, but Tom's obviously like the best there. Tom Dwan is fantastic at poker. I'll play chess another time, my friends. I'm gonna hang up the phone soon. I'm gonna go eat. Usually, I've been going to sleep in around 1 hour's time. It's 8:30 now. I've been going to sleep at like 9:30 to 10. And today I'm staying up to watch this goddamn game. Did you see Lex on the big game? I didn't. I saw there was a headline saying Lex loses it all. I don't know what he lost. I don't know what he played. Let's see if we can find that video though, because we can watch that. Lex big game on YouTube. Biggest pot of his career, $266,000. Oh, this would be a good test, actually. Can you guys hear the? Can you hear the video? when I play it? And is the audio good enough?
A new rivalry emerges.
All right. Well.
Over a hand worth $250,000.
Said I was going to either win the biggest pot of my life versus you or lose probably. TBD.
Who's that? I know everybody at the table apart from this person. Target. Tajay.
That's a good hand for Phil. Ace King of Diamonds.
Wait, what? This is the actual big game UK version? Are they in England? Where was this? How have I not heard of this? And why has it only got like 1,000 views? What? Oh, I'm sure they put it somewhere else. Let's find the biggest pot of Lex's career. Does anyone have like a timestamp here? It's probably this one. Okay, what? Okay, so Keating opens +1. Lex 3-bets button, and Tilly 4-bets is before that, huh? Okay, louder. I don't know how to do it louder, actually. Maybe on this. Desktop audio. No, I actually can't do it louder. That's annoying. I'll figure that out before I stream again. Because everything's turned up to the fullest. My laptop's just a little bit quiet sometimes. Not quite the fullest. So apparently it's before this. Is it this one? What hand did he have when it was the biggest part of his career? Does anyone know? It's probably not this one. I don't know who that is either. They're just getting beautiful women that I've never heard of to play. That is probably very smart on their behalf. Keating burning money? No, not this time. All right, let's watch the king's hand. So, oh, he's just gonna shove. Don't worry about it.
I suspect. No, $44,300.
He doesn't shove. He makes it 44k. Interesting.
Jen folds.
Jen was way more like
Alan's not gonna fold. He's not gonna fold. Wait, what?
likely to have a better.
Jen folds.
Jen was way more likely to have a better hand than
That's not really that true.
Alan given the action.
Nice 666 number. They call it the double George.
Play.
This was?
The pot.
Not over.
All right, so they chop it.
Didn't hurt my eyes.
Go buy a lottery ticket. You are. Alan is so lucky.
All right.
All right.
We're a gambler.
It's a friendly game.
It's okay.
Is how's the audio? Does it double up, or is it like a single does it sound like two audios, or is it like echoing, or is it just one? I'll fix this now, so when we watch the big game together, we can do it. King 4 of diamonds, huh? Oh, nice. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let's watch him play King 4 of diamonds against pocket sevens and ace king. This sounds fun.
Yeah, and I had the titular line in Star Wars.
Well, Alan is
Just one?
business.
Nice.
He's made it $900 with pocket sevens.
All right, open 900. They're playing 100, 200.
Diamonds in the small blind.
King 4 of diamonds. So when you're Lex against Alan here, I think you only want to be calling. And the reason for that is folding's too bad. Alan's going to be playing probably like 80% of hands from here, maybe like 60% of hands from the cutoff. So king four suited with the post-flop edge being a professional poker player, you have to play it. The problem is Alan's also going to be calling 3-bets really wide, and king four suited doesn't play that well super deep out of position. As a 3-bet, you're going to be dominated by like king 10 offsuit, king 9 suited, king 8 suited, all this stuff. And then also you get stacked if you get flush under nut flush and, you know, various other things. So good call.
Phil, nope. Calls.
What? Okay. Don't ever do this. This is not okay. that's crazy. That's absolutely bananas. That I cannot believe I just saw that. Jesus Christ. Phil, I love Phil, but come on.
Top set for Alan. He is a huge favorite in this pot. And that's why Phil's the greatest. Save money.
Yeah, maybe he just knew. Maybe Phil has that telepathy I was talking about earlier and just knows something that we don't.
And Phil are both checked. Alan continues the $2,000. Lex probably not sticking around.
So the audio is fine now?
Oh boy. Lex.
Okay, so Alan bets 2K.
Raises.
Lex raises to 9K. This is probably a very good raise against Alan, who's going to have maybe every hand that he opened here, including like queen 8 offsuit, you know.
$9,000. Hey, he's got 2 backdoor. Phil manages to lay.
So I like it so far. I think I would have gone smaller if I were Lex, because this is a hand that wants to double barrel a lot. Because when you go big, Alan's going to be calling king queen of clubs. He's going to be calling ace jack offsuit. He's going to be calling all these hands. So when you're value betting, you want to go big because he's going to call them anyway. But when you're bluffing, you want to play a smaller pot, and you're not making extra stuff fold. He's going to fold queen 8 offsuit anyway. He's going to fold, you know, like jack 10 offsuit anyway. So by making it 9, you're kind of making the pot like significantly bigger than it needs to with king high against somebody that is going to be playing what we call inelastic. So I like the call pre-flop. I like the raise, but I would personally, I might even go like 5,500, like really small.
One better hand to fold. But this one.
And you'll see the difference now is that the pot's now $20,000, and now on the turn he's going to have to bet big because the pot's $21,000, and then on the river he's going to have to bet even bigger. And so like the power of exponentials beholds you. But whereas if you go 5,500, then suddenly okay, you're only playing like a $13,000 pot. You know, you go 10,000 on the turn or whatever, and instead of betting like 18,000, you know, it really adds up. So pay attention to your pre-flop sizing, pay attention to your flop sizing, pay attention to your check raise sizing. It's really important because of the power of exponentials.
Well, that's top pair for Lex, but he's a.
Okay. So we turn top pair. This is going to be the best hand most of the time. And the question is, do we want to check call and let him bluff, or do we want to bet ourselves? And I think, given Alan's tendencies, he's not actually. Yeah, I think I'll go for a check call. For some reason, my gut's saying to bet. I don't know why my gut's saying to bet, but my brain is saying to check call. I can't see why he wouldn't check call here, because Alan's gonna have still like jack 10 of clubs. He's gonna have hands that beat you as well, which is, you know, you're pot controlling versus those. He's gonna have he's gonna have ace jack offsuit, which might turn itself into a bluff. Ace 4 offsuit, which might turn itself into a bluff. All of these hands. Maybe it's a bet if you think that he's not going to bluff those hands and he's actually just going to call a bet with ace jack and ace 4. But
Officially drawing deck. Oh jeez, the price of Lexus subscriptions are about to go up. Oh jeez.
nice little tell, like poker tell stuff here. Lex doesn't look done with the hand when he checks it. He checks pretty quickly, and he doesn't look done with the hand at all.
Drawing deck. Oh jeez, the price of Lexus subscriptions.
See, like that really quick check. Even if you have like 8, 9 of clubs here, and you know you're giving up, you don't check that quickly with that much like determination look in your face. Little live tell there.
Subscriptions are about to go up. Checks to Alan. And he bets pretty much full pot.
So Alan bets 19,000. If I'm Lex here, I'm obviously never folding, ever folding. A little bit of a suspicion about his sizing. Like Alan knows he's got an aggressive image. He knows that he can bet big and get called. And if he's bluffing, maybe he can just bet 10,000. So definitely alarm bells going off in my head. Like huge alarm bells. Like, okay, why has he chosen such a big sizing? Because Alan's smart. He knows that Lex is just going to be check folding a bunch with 8-9, with stuff like that. So by going a huge sizing here, you know, maybe he's turning his hands a little bit face up and saying, yo, I've got a value hand. That being said, it's Alan Keating. We got top pair. Let's call.
$19,000. All right, there's one sliver of good news here for Lex. His hand is just struck.
By the way, if you check raise the flop to 5,500, this pot size bet is significantly less. And then the river bet will be significantly less as well. Got a call. Damn, is Alan going to shove?
Which is the jack of spades. Lex checks again. And that is a huge...
Yeah, so he shoves. Here's the thing. I don't think Alan would... Imagine Alan's bluffing it. Imagine Alan's just got like 8-9 of hearts or whatever. 8-9 clubs even. I don't think Alan would discount Lex having 2 pairs or sets, and I don't think he would choose an all-in sizing here. Obviously, and here's the thing that you guys need to know as well. Poker's real easy when you can see the cards, and every person alive, I've seen the highest stakes pros do this and the lowest stakes pros do this. When you can see the cards, it's so easy to rationalize why it's so obvious that he has a set here, and it's obvious that he's not bluffing. So you have to counteract that with intelligent skepticism. So like I can come up with reasons why I think he's got a set, but I know he's got a set. So if I couldn't see the cards, this would be a different story. So yeah, you cannot blame Lex for calling here whatsoever.
$5,000. All right. Well. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm gonna need a box of tissues because...
Why is there only 1,300 views on this video? Like what? Somebody tell me what's going on there.
Alan going for extreme value. Lex has just over 100k behind, meaning it is all in to call.
I said I was going to either win the biggest pot of my life versus you or lose probably.
Get the live tells.
TBD.
Okay, here comes some super high level analysis. Try to stay with me. Lex has a bluff catcher. Alan likes to bluff.
Yeah.
Lex calls and gets stacked. Ouch. A pot of more than $250,000.
Knowing Lex, having watched his streams, I imagine that hurts him a lot. He seems like he takes losses pretty hard.
The biggest
But he would have sold a lot of action for this, so.
shipped by Alan Keating. And a chill filled the room.
Nice play, nice play.
I'm gonna get Keating today.
Phil makes it all about him for a second. So yeah, what's going on there? Like, why has this only got 1,300 views? Would I call that? I think I would fold, but I would really, yeah. I will try and fix audio for the stream tonight, by the way. Cool. All right. So this was a test stream anyway. I will go back to the drawing boards. How do I get my other stream up? We are back. And tonight we're going to watch the $1 Million Game. We're going to watch the $1 Million Cash Game together. Let's hunker down, make some friends. And I will see you there, beautiful people. And whilst we're doing it, we can talk about anything you want. All right. Peace. See you.